The Flying Thunder God is acknowledged by many fans as being one of the most dangerous jutsu in the Naruto universe. In the history of Naruto, only 5 ninja have mastered the jutsu. In part 1 of What If Naruto Learned the Flying Raijin, we looked at a scenario where Naruto Uzumaki learned the Flying Raijin jutsu. So obviously if you've not seen part 1, then I highly recommend doing so because part 2 will be extremely confusing if you don't. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into part 2 of What If Naruto Learned the Flying Raijin. The first major change that would occur to the timeline would happen in the year after the end of what we knew to be the 4th Great Ninja War. Because there would have been no 4th Great Ninja War, the 5 great nations would not be on working terms with one another. Also, since the Infinite Tsukiyomi was never enacted, the groups like the Armament Alliance and the Land of Silence, groups that supported Mamoru Uchiha's vision for the world after they experienced the Infinite Tsukiyomi, never would have sprang up. For those of you who are unaware of who these groups are, you can check out my After Naruto Shippuden playlist to learn more about them. This means that the Land of Waves massacre never happens in the Kakashi Hiden novel, and the Land of Silence is never formed. Konoha would reign supreme as the only village left with a Biju at their disposal. However, this brings up a major problem that needs to be addressed. Obito Uchiha would have been dead, and because he would have shown up to Konoha with 1 Rinnegan and 1 Sharingan, the idea of taking Obito's Rinnegan would be on the table. Tsunade would now have 2 options. Does she offer the eye to Sasuke, or does she give it to Naruto, or does she seal the eye away altogether? On one hand, Naruto is extremely overpowered right now, having KCM2 and the Flying Raijin. Naruto would have fought a Rinnegan user twice, making him more familiar with how the dojutsu works than anyone in the village. Tsunade would also be even more likely to do so because Naruto would have saved the village twice from a threat, and it would make her recall her conversation with Jiraiya. Before Jiraiya left the village to fight Pain, Tsunade called him out on the fact that he was teaching Naruto overpowered jutsu, and Jiraiya basically said it's because Naruto's Minato's son and because he wants Naruto to be great, so he pushes him in that way. Giving Naruto the Rinnegan eye that once belonged to one of Jiraiya's former students would be one hell of a memento, and it'd be an awesome way of paying homage to Jiraiya's wishes. However, there's also Sasuke to address. It's possible for Sasuke to have witnessed the massive leaps in power that Naruto made and want to take the eye for himself. It's also possible that this version of Sasuke, who isn't driven to seek power for the sake of vengeance, does not take the eye and instead seeks to train his EMS. Tsunade also sealing away the eye for safekeeping could be a possibility to do, especially since she would know that there was another Rinnegan out there somewhere. However, due to any of these scenarios being possible, I'm going to err on the side of caution and I'm going to give Naruto the Rinnegan. By the time that the events of Naruto the Last happens, there are a couple potential changes that need to occur. The novelization for the movie makes it pretty clear that part of the reason why Tsunade wanted to destroy the Earth was the revival of Kaguya and the Ten Tails, all of which he blamed as being possible because of Mamoru Uchiha. While this never would have happened, I do believe that being so close to this being an actual reality that we could see Tsunade actually coming to Earth, but there's also a chance he doesn't come right away. In my opinion, Tsunade would still come to Earth seeking to destroy the planet and ravage those sweet sugar walls of Hinata Hyuga. It would be on that night that Hinata, who in this timeline never confessed her love to Naruto, would struggle to work up the nerve to tell Naruto how she felt. While Tsunade's puppets attack, Naruto likely destroys them with low difficulty, but Hanabi will still be captured. Tsunade will still go on to assemble a team that will be led by Sasuke instead of Shikamaru in order to bring back Hanabi. Team 7 will be joined by Hinata. The events of Naruto the Last would continue much the same from this point onward. However, by the time we get to the Genjutsu Lake, due to Sasuke being an absolute monster with Genjutsu and Sakura being extremely talented with Genjutsu as well, I see a major change occurring here. Originally in the novelization for the movie, Sakura broke out of the Genjutsu first almost immediately, and she had to release everyone from the Genjutsu. Due to Sasuke being far superior with Genjutsu than Sakura, I could see Sasuke snapping out of the Genjutsu almost immediately and rushing over to break Naruto out of the Genjutsu at the same time that Sakura would be breaking free of the Genjutsu herself. Sakura would then release Sai from the Genjutsu, and Sasuke would ready his chakra to finish over Hinata last. While this does mean that the Genjutsu-induced dream sequence where Naruto is connected to Hinata's memories never actually happens, that doesn't mean that the Naruto-Hinata ship has necessarily crashed yet. Also, it should be worth noting that due to the Genjutsu trap failing, Tsunade is never given the chance to meet Hinata alone. Due to Sasuke likely being in a relationship with Sakura, by this point in the story, Naruto would likely pair up with Hinata, which means it's possible that Hinata finally grows a big enough pair of balls to blurt out how she feels to Naruto. However, just Just as she began to tell Naruto how she felt, Naruto would hear the commotion when the discovery of the corpse was made in the ruins. Grabbing hold of Hinata's hand, Naruto would teleport to the kunai that Sasuke was carrying. It would be here that Hinata would learn of the legend of the Byakugan princess and the warning about the Tenseigan. By the time that Toneri arrives to take Hinata, there's going to be another major change that occurs. The moment that Naruto sees Hinata being carried away by Toneri, Naruto likely forms a Rasengan on one hand and teleports to the Flying Raijin kunai that Hinata is likely carrying. Before Toneri can even react, Naruto would shove a Rasengan in Toneri's face and grab Hinata. Before teleporting away, Naruto would place the Flying Raijin seal on Toneri. After Toneri tumbles to the ground, Sasuke and Team 7 would surround him. Due to the novelization making it clear that at this point Toneri was still adjusting to the Tenseigan and did not have it fully mastered, Toneri wouldn't be able to bring out the full power of his Tenseigan just yet. This means that KCM2 Naruto, with one Rinnegan that he's had 2 years to master, and the Flying Raijin, being backed up by Sasuke, Sakura, Sai, and Hinata, are likely able to take down Toneri. If Toneri does try to fly off using the moon transport device, Naruto likely teleports behind him, and using a KCM2 powered giant Rasengan, Naruto likely one-shots Toneri, which isn't too out of the realm of possibility since Naruto focusing his KCM2 power into his fist was able to one-shot Toneri while he was in his Tenseigan chakra mode, so base Toneri doesn't stand a chance here. While Toneri's unconscious, Sasuke likely uses the Sharingan to read his mind, which we do know that Sasuke after the war is able to do, since using the basic Sharingan towards the end of his redemption journey, Sasuke casually pulled off his feet. After learning about the Tenseigan energy vessel, Sasuke likely leads the team to the moon, and after tracking down that energy vessel, Naruto would assist Hinata in destroying it, which means that Team 7 returns to Konoha with Hanabi in tow, with her own eyes shoved back into her skull. There will be no meteor that would need to be blown up by Sasuke, and Toneri likely would have been killed by Sasuke's sword since Sasuke would have viewed him as too big of a threat to leave alone, and the threat of the moon destroying the earth would be solved. From here, the story will progress much the same. However, there are some major changes that occur. The tailed beast drugs and the Sharingan pills from the Sakura Hiden novel would never be created since there wouldn't have been a final battle between Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke will likely marry Sakura in the aftermath of the events of Naruto the Last, with Naruto serving as his best man, and he will return the favor for Naruto after a little bit of time passes and Naruto marries Hinata. It would also be here that another major change would occur. Hagoromo never would have given Sasuke the Rinnegan with the Sharingan Tomoe, which means there would be no way to access Kaguya's dimensions and learn about her clan. Kaguya never would have been revived, so Sasuke wouldn't think to hunt down the information on Kaguya. This means that Sasuke stays in the village to assist Naruto as Hokage, as well as raise his daughter. Sasuke is likely given his own Jonin rank, similar to what happened with Sai after the war ended, and Sasuke would go out on missions to protect the village from the shadows. However, he'd only be gone for weeks or months at a time. Naruto as Hokage would have his work cut out for him, uniting the ninja world, since the 5 great nations would not be on speaking terms outside of the Hidden Leaf Village and the Hidden Sand Village. Whenever Shin Uchiha shows up, Naruto stomps him out without any type of difficulty. It wouldn't be until Momoshiki invaded the village for the Chunin exams, which still would happen since the exams are seen as a way to showcase to the feudal lords and other clients the strength of each of the ninja villages. It would be upon seeing these ghostly, white-skinned invaders that the thought to unite would cross the minds of the 5 Kage. However, this would happen after Naruto's seen staring down Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Upon seeing how deadly of a force that Naruto was facing, I do believe that Naruto would be smart enough to have the fight moved out the arena, or this next option, which I think is more likely, would actually occur. I could see Naruto spamming the Shadow Clone Jutsu all around the arena to teleport the bystanders out of the arena to the safe space that was used during the Konoha Crush Arc. Having no villagers in the arena or the surrounding area potentially means that Naruto is able to fight unrestrained, or at the very least using over 50% of his power. With Sasuke and the 5 Kage there to aid him, I could see a true fight breaking out. Gaara and Chojuro are likely pulled away to deal with Urashiki. This leaves EMS Sasuke, Hokage Naruto with the Rinnegan and the Flying Raijin, leading Darui, Kurotsuki, Rock Lee, and Sakura against Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Team 7 would face off with Momoshiki, while Darui, Kurotsuki, and Rock Lee faced off against Kinshiki. Given how well Darui and the other Kages did against Kinshiki and Momoshiki at various points, I could see the Tsuchikage and Raikage holding off Kinshiki with the assistance of Rock Lee, which means that Team 7 will be fighting against Momoshiki without having to worry. Team 7 will quickly learn of Momoshiki's ability to absorb ninjutsu once he absorbs a Rasen Shuriken or fire style jutsu from Sasuke, but that doesn't matter when you look at it. Naruto by himself is more than enough to fight against Momoshiki, but Sasuke using his EMS, while not as powerful as the version who fought against Momoshiki, would be able to assist Naruto in this battle. Sakura on the other hand has to be addressed. Her Byakugo seal never would have been unleashed during the part in the timeline where the war arc originally took place. This means that Sakura would have had the time from the beginning of her training with Tsunade all the way up until the versus Momoshiki arc, which takes place 15 years after the 4th Great Ninja War, for Sakura to store chakra. That makes it a grand total of potentially 18 years worth of chakra being stored away. In just the 3 years that she stored chakra inside of her seal, Sakura was able to jump up several tiers. 18 years worth of storing chakra unleashed potentially means that Sakura is gonna surpass Sasuke in this scenario. Team 7 will line up side by side after Naruto places the Flying Raijin seals on them before they speed blitz Momoshiki. Sakura will play the role of the diversion, except this time she doesn't get a long black rod shoved inside of her guts. Landing a massive hit to the face of Momoshiki, Sakura would send Momoshiki flying across the Chunin Exams arena, potentially through the stadium itself. Seconds later, Sasuke would appear and engage Momoshiki. This would be a truly glorious battle of taijutsu to see. It would be a battle of the Byakugan versus the Sharingan, or like I like to refer to it, the Gentle Fist fighting against the Sharingan Eye of Insight. However, just as Momoshiki began attempting to strike Sasuke's chakra points, Naruto would teleport to the seal that he placed on Sasuke. Naruto would simultaneously place a Flying Raijin seal on Momoshiki and gather the chakra to perform Almighty Push. Using Almighty Push, Naruto would send Momoshiki flying backwards into the awaiting fist of Sakura, who would smash it right into the spine of Momoshiki. After being bounced back towards KCM2 Naruto and Sasuke would begin fighting in unison against Momoshiki, pummeling away at him until Momoshiki's anger would boil. After being kicked several feet into the air, Momoshiki would curse as he began to form a giant ball of chakra over his head. However, before the chakra could be fully formed and stabilized, Naruto would go into his Kyuubi avatar state and have a massive Biju bomb formed, all within seconds. Momoshiki's greedy eyes would widen upon seeing the massive collection of chakra as he stretched his hand out to eventually absorb it. While his attentions focused on Naruto, Sakura would come flying down from the sky in Momoshiki's blind spot, shouting in rage. Putting 18 years worth of stored chakra into one punch, Sakura would send Momoshiki flying back down to the ground, and his chakra ball would dispel or it'd be sent off into another direction. Once Momoshiki hits the ground, Naruto will surpass all the previous Flying Raijin users, either by taking Minato's Guiding Thunder Jutsu, which allows him to seal away and teleport a Biju Bomb, and in this scenario, Naruto will surpass it by teleporting his own Biju Bomb directly into the seal of Momoshiki, which would strike before Momoshiki could absorb it. Or Naruto would teleport the entire Kyuubi avatar directly into the face of Momoshiki, unleashing a hellacious Biju Bomb. Meanwhile, Rock Lee in the 7th Gate will lead the charge to kill Kinshiki before the latter can sacrifice himself to Momoshiki. Sensing Urashiki's presence nearby, Naruto will teleport to the marker closest to where Gar and Chojuro were fighting him. Before Urashiki can activate his Rinnegan, Naruto has a few options. He can either rip his soul out using the human path, or he can trap him in Chubaku Tensei. However, let's be real here. This is Naruto, which means he's probably going to use a Rasengan. However, this causes a major shift. For this next scenario, I'm going to use the manga continuity, since a part 3 to this video would deal directly with what's going on with the manga right now. In the manga version of the versus Momoshiki arc, Boruto is given the Karma Seal after Momoshiki's killed, whereas in the anime, the conversation that happened did so while Boruto's Rasengan struck and was in the process of killing Momoshiki. Going with the manga version of events, Momoshiki would curse Naruto and bestow upon him the Karma Seal. After coming out of his conversation with Momoshiki, Naruto would have saved the world for a 3rd time. However, he would now have a weird black diamond shaped mark on his hand. And that's where we're gonna leave off part 2. If you guys want to see a part 3, then I'll ask for 3,000 likes on this video. And as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.